Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Purvi. Hope you all have watched video wherein we were discussing about the things that we have in present time. In this lesson now, yes, we are talking about the things that we had in the past. So हमारे पास क्या क्या था? It is now past. When we talk about possessions in the past, the verb had is used, right? We use had with all the subjects, whether it is first person, second person, third person. फर्स्ट पर्सन आई एंड वी बात करने वाला, सेकेंड पर्सन यू आप जिससे बात करते हैं, एंड थर्ड पर्सन जिसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, ही शी इट सिंगुलर एंड दे इज प्लूरल. With all the subjects we use had, and in negative statements we use did not have, right? So I had a big house in village. गांव में मेरा बड़ा घर था. Or I didn't have or I did not have a big house in village. You should say I didn't have a big house in village. मेरा गांव में बड़ा घर नहीं था. We had a very good team. हमारी बहुत अच्छी टीम थी. We didn't have a very good team at that time. हमारे पास अच्छी टीम नहीं थी. You had a job. You didn't have a job. तुम्हारे पास जॉब था, तुम्हारे पास जॉब नहीं था. They, third person plural, they had 3 projects with them in the last year, or they didn't have any projects in their hand. उनके पास प्रोजेक्ट था, उनके पास प्रोजेक्ट नहीं था. See, we are not talking about actions. We are not using verbs, action words in the statement, right? We are talking about things that you had in the past. हमारे पास क्या क्या था. Again, now with third person, he, she, it, my sister, my brother, my uncle, my aunt, also we will use had. So he had a job, he didn't have a job. She had a mobile, she didn't have balance. Sunita, yes, Smita. Smita had, it is past, right? So Smita had a job, but she didn't have time for the family. Ramesh had a car, Ramesh didn't have a car. So these are positive and negative statements using had for showing possession in the past. Now, yes, it is time for questions. We also ask questions related to things that we had in the past. Now, when we make questions in this type of situation, we start with did. So, in present, we start with do and does, but here we will start with did. So, did you have a fever yesterday? Did you have a fever yesterday? क्या कल तुमको बुखार था? You can say, yes, madam, I had a fever yesterday. No, I didn't have any fever. I was fine. So, did you have? Now, next is, didn't you have any meeting yesterday? Yesterday is kal. So, didn't you have any meeting yesterday? क्या कल meeting नहीं थी? If you say yes, you are saying that, yes, madam, I didn't have any meeting. No, I had one meeting yesterday. Why didn't you have that file? Why didn't you have that file? Yes, now this is WH question. Why didn't you have that file? क्यों तुम्हारे पास वो file नहीं थी? Yes, I didn't have that file because nobody shared that with me, ma'am. Now, where did you have your flat in Mumbai? Where did you have your flat in Mumbai? मतलब मुंबई में आपका फ्लैट कहाँ पर था? Yes, I had my flat at Dadar, or I had my flat at Matunga in Mumbai. कहाँ पर था? Now, how many friends did you have in school? How many friends did you have in school? School में तुम्हारे कितने दोस्त थे? So, I had many friends in school, or I had around 15 friends in school when I was in school, or I had friends. How much money did you have in that account? How much money did you have in that account? मतलब वो account में कितना पैसा था? Definitely, practical life we will not ask question related to money, but yes, this is just an example. So वो account में आपके पास कितना पैसा था? I had around 2-3 lakhs rupees in that account. This is how you answer questions. So yes, generally what mistakes my students make while writing these questions? So they directly use had, or sometimes they forget to put did. So why you not have that file, or why you had that file or not had that file? These are all wrong statements. When you write WH, see to it that you are also putting did in the questions. With who, definitely you will use had. Who had time, or who did have time for the family? Who did have time for the family? मतलब किसके पास फैमिली के लिए वक्त था. So here again it is about things that we had in the past, positive, negative and questions. In this situation you should be able to ask questions properly and answer all the questions properly. You can solve more examples, try to write more sentences using had, has and have in your book. You can share your examples in the comments below. I would definitely help. Now we have already discussed has, have in another video wherein we are talking about possession in the present time, and here we have used past, right? We are talking about. So now in the next lesson, I will be asking questions based on these two lessons. Watch video again. Share your doubts in the comments below. I will definitely solve. Thanks for watching. See you again.